Viewers, we cannot have a 365 days of the NES without talking about Wisdom Tree a little bit. Some of you will know exactly what's going on when I mention the name Wisdom Tree, but for those who don't, be a part of Bible stories as exciting characters come to life. Help Noah bring the animals into the ark before the big storm. Pretend you are David battling the giant Goliath, and help save baby Moses from the Pharaoh's overwhelming forces. Assisted by scores of direct quotes from the Bible, your adventure is going to be fun and educational and blasphemous, especially when I do it. That's right. So, Bible adventures. Before we talk about the game, let's talk about Wisdom Tree just a little bit. If you have seen a cartridge of this game, you will notice that it does not look like an NES cartridge. They had a light blue, robin's egg blue version and a black version. No difference in the game between the two. Here's the thing. Now, we all know about Tengen and their little, screw you, Nintendo, you won't let us put our games out on your system? We'll just build them and we'll put an anti-blocking chip. We'll block your blocking chip, basically. And we'll put that into our games and we'll sell them anyway. Right? We all know about that. Tengen built games, coded them, programmed them, got them all ready. Nintendo said, no, we're not going to do it. So Tengen found a way to bypass the blocking chip in the NES. Well, so did Wisdom Tree with their Christian video games. Very, very interesting to me that a company putting together games to teach us about the Bible would have to resort to what some would consider piracy to get their video games released. But that is neither here nor there. We're going to look at Bible adventures, and I'm going to talk about this game quite a bit. But I'm only going to be showing you footage from the Moses game because it's the most ridiculous. Excuse me, Noah, not Moses. It's hard to keep all these people straight. When they live for 800 years, you know, it gets a little tricky. Anyway, I want to tell you that this game, generally very not well liked. So, the game was never sold through stores. You had to, I think, if I remember right, order it, like by catalog or something from Wisdom Tree directly if you wanted to get it. It was first released in 1991 for the NES and then re-released in 95 for the Mega Drive and Genesis. Bible Adventures contains 3 different games, Noah's Ark, Baby Moses, and David and Goliath, all of which are based rather loosely on stories from the Bible. The gameplay of these is side-scroller, similar to that of Super Mario Bros. 2, and it features classical music, such as Jesu, Joy of Man's Desiring, by Johann Sebastian Bach, as the background music for the title screen. Why? Because it's free. The game was a collection of 3 games, right? We just talked about that, on stories from the Old Testament. In Noah's Ark, we must round up animals and food, sometimes by knocking animals out with an object that resembles a barrel, or catching fruit thrown by a monkey and carry them to the ark. Noah's health is recharged when the player reads Bible verses that are scattered around the 4 levels. Snakes seen on the trees are decoys. The real snakes the player has to capture are inside a cave. Now, Noah here is the equivalent of a 1920s circus strongman because Noah can just pick up a horse or a cow or an ox. In fact, if you're very good at it, and I didn't feel like taking the time to do it, you can actually pick up like 6 animals at a time. It's kind of ridiculous. In Baby Moses, we control Miriam, Moses' sister, as she tries to save her brother from the Pharaoh's decree that all male Hebrew children be killed. In order to do this, the player carries Moses from one end of the level to the other, in a manner quite similar to the way in which characters in Super Mario Bros. 2 carry vegetables. Moses can be thrown around without harming him, but enemies cannot be harmed in any way. The adversaries attempt to throw Moses into the Nile. If the player completes the level without Moses, the game says, "Good work, but you forgot baby Moses," and the level must be restarted. So, Noah's Ark, pick up animals, carry them to the Ark. Baby Moses, pick up Moses, carry him to the end of the level. In David and Goliath, the player starts out controlling David as he herds sheep and avoids predators such as lions and bears, but no tigers. Oh my. Acorns can be used to stun the beast. The player then obtains a sling and goes on to dodge guards, scorpions, and stones before he fights Goliath's shield bearer and ultimately Goliath himself, whom the player must strike once in the head to defeat. So that is about the only one that is different. Well, it really is the only one that's different, but not even much. The only difference between the David and Goliath one and the other two games, there's not really much to carry. You know what I'm saying? The game has been criticized for being very overly didactic. The gameplay is broken up constantly by the Bible verses, and it is being and for being highly derivative of Super Mario Bros. 2 and for generally bad gameplay. The physics are weird, viewers, very weird. It recycles its other levels. Each level is basically the same as the same gameplay and the same style. Nevertheless, it reportedly sold 350,000 copies, most of them through Christian bookstores. Graphics, let's be real here. The graphics not too bad. Really, the graphics are all right. The controls are goofy, the physics are weird. The levels are just so redundant. And you know, it was a good try, but there's a reason, and I don't think it's because it was a Bible game, that Nintendo did not want to put their name on this and sell it.